Ada and Kemi were two young students who were happy as they entered the bus going to their village for the holidays. Ada was 19 years old and Kemi was 20. They had been in school for months and couldn't wait to see their families again. The bus driver, Mr. Olumide, smiled warmly at them as they entered, making them feel relaxed. At first, everything seemed fine. Ada and Kemi were chatting and laughing, enjoying the trip. But as time went on, the road began to change. It didn't look like the usual road to their village. Kemi, are you sure this is the right way? Ada asked, looking out the window. Kemi frowned. I don't think so. Driver, why are we taking this road? The driver smiled strangely. Don't worry, my daughters. This is a shortcut. Something about the way he spoke made Ada feel uneasy, but she didn't say anything. Soon, the bus entered a dark forest. The road was narrow and tall trees surrounded them. The place was quiet, too quiet. The only sound was the hum of the bus engine. Suddenly, the bus stopped in the middle of nowhere. Why did we stop? Kemi asked, her voice shaking. Before the driver could answer, two strange men came out of the bushes. Their faces looked scary, and they walked straight to the bus. You did well, Olumide, one of the men said. The driver smiled wickedly. I always deliver, he replied. Ada and Kemi's heart began to race. The truth hit them like a heavy stone. They had been trapped. What do you want with us? Ada shouted, fear in her voice. The men ignored her. Bring them out, one of them said. The men tied Ada and Kemi's hands and dragged them to the back of the bus. The girls struggled, but the men were too strong. Please, let us go, Kemi cried. But the men only laughed. The men started chanting strange words, their voices low and evil. Ada's heart pounded as she looked at Kemi. We can't stay here. We have to escape, Ada whispered. Ada used her teeth to loosen the ropes around her wrist. It was hard, but after a while, she managed to free herself. She quickly helped Kemi untie her ropes. When I say run, we run, Ada said softly. When the men weren't looking, the girls ran out of the bus and into the forest. They didn't know where they were going, but they ran as fast as they could. While running, they saw human skulls. The men soon noticed and began chasing them. Catch them! One of them shouted. Ada and Kemi ran through the dark forest. Branches scratched their arms and faces, but they didn't stop. The men's footsteps were getting loud. Over there, Ada said, pointing to a small hut in the distance. They ran into the hut and slammed the door shut. Kemi was crying. What are we going to do? They will find us. Ada looked around and found a metal rod on the ground. If they come in, we'll fight, she said firmly. The men broke down the door and rushed into the hut. Ada swung the rod and hit one of them in the leg. Kemi threw a stool at the other. The fight was intense, but the girls didn't give up. Just when the men were about to overpower them, the sound of police sirens filled the air. Flashlights shone through the trees and the men tried to run, but the police caught them and also arrested the driver. The girls were safe, but they didn't know that one of the police officers was an accomplice. They couldn't stop shaking. As the police drove them back to the village, they felt relief. But something strange happened. The officer driving them was silent, and Ada noticed a tattoo on his wrist. It was the same symbol she had seen on the men earlier. The officer turned to them with a chilling smile. "You think it's over? It's just the beginning." The car turned off the road and